Welcome back to the program, and time now to talk a bit of politics, particularly with a view to what's happening in Edo State. Of course, we recall that visit by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party to Edo State, the College of Nursing specifically. And after that, we've also seen that viral video where the governor of Edo State was addressing supporters, and he said indeed that, when next Mr. Peter Obi wants to visit Edo State, that he must get clearance, else his safety cannot be guaranteed. And of course, he also said that following that visit, violence erupted in some parts of Edo, wherein some people were killed. So we want to get clarity on the statement of the governor and, of course, the disposition of the obedient movement to this particular event unfolding in the polity. And joining us is the Commissioner for Information in Edo State, Honorable Paul Ohobamo. And we'll also have joining us this morning on the program, Madam Nana Kazauri, the Director of Strategic Communications of the Obedient Movement. Thank you so much for joining us, lady and gentleman, on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So I'm going to start with you, Nana, for good reason. The Edo State government has put out a statement clarifying that the governor's position to the visit by your principal, Mr. Peter Obi, to the state was not a threat, that indeed, as governor of Edo State, he's the chief security officer and has the right to take decisions to protect the people. How satisfactory is that response to the obedient camp?
It's gone beyond the obedient camp. Good morning, Bukola. It's good to see you this morning. And to everyone else in the studio, good morning. It's gone beyond the obedient movement. It's an infringement on the fundamental rights, as provided by Section 41 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And it's against his rights for free movement. And it was a direct threat. You paraphrase, but I remember him saying Peter Obi's security can never be guaranteed, even though I am also paraphrasing. And he said, I am serious about it. You understand? We don't buy that explanation. He wasn't giving a security brief. He wasn't speaking to security officers. And I would have expected that by now the IG of police, the NSA would have had very strong words, very, very, very strong words for the governor of Edo State. It's clear that they are rattled by us. It is clear that they are maybe trying very, very hard to impress their paymasters. It's okay to protect your party. It's okay to protect, your political ambition, but it's not okay to issue threats to people who have come to do charity in your state. It's not okay to issue threats for somebody who is just going about doing good. And when a governor speaks in that manner, what he's saying is he has dropped the ball on the people within the geographical location of his state. That was a clear threat to Mr. Peter Obi's life by saying that you cannot secure that he never even said, I just come over so that we can provide security for you. Those were not the words that came out. That was a veiled threat. And it's cause for concern for well-meaning Nigerians, because we have freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of speech are our constitutional rights. So when somebody at that high level comes out and speaks so recklessly, it's quite shameful, to say the least, and it doesn't bode well for the governor himself. It doesn't speak well of him. Whatever brand he's trying to bring to the fore, it's quite an embarrassment on his case. And I can imagine that the people who work for him will have I have always said that damage control is a very expensive venture. I'm sure that they must have a lot of work on their table. Remember, Edo State
right.
indigents pride themselves in being obedient. We won Edo State during the last elections. So for you to come and threaten somebody for visiting the state, doing good, and, it just shows that, he was majoring on minor things, talking about 15 million donation. No, that's not the point. The point is, how well do you care about your healthcare system? The last speaker just put it plainly. The dengue, in fact, I just put that on the note, the dengue fever is highest in which state? Edo State. The governor should be looking at security. He should be looking at the healthcare system of his state and not threatening people who have come to be of assistance, whom have chosen that, in my life, what's left of it, I want to do charitable things using my own funds and goodwill. Education should be important to the governor of Edo State, not bad grammar.
Let's expand the conversation now. Yeah. Let's expand the conversation now, Nana, and take it to Honorable Okpebholo. I'm sure there are quite a number of things that she has said that you would like to respond to. But while you're at it, we'll also need you to clarify the position expressed by the governor that following that visit, there was violence and a number of persons died. What is the evidence that has been linked to the visit by Mr. Peter Obi to Edo State? Okay, we'll get back to Honorable Okpebholo shortly, but let's bring it to you now, Nana. The state government is saying that after Mr. Peter Obi's visit, that violence occurred. How do you respond to that? Is there any evidence to the effect that you are aware of that was tied to the visit by your principal to Edo State?
Absolutely not. There's no evidence to that effect. I don't mean to be disrespectful or rude, but then the truth of the matter is the state governor of Edo State really does have a very wild imagination. And for him to have said people died, violence erupted, you're a journalist. That's the job of journalists. We're not aware. Nothing like that came out until he just on a whim came up with the story and imagined 3 people dead in Edo State. No such thing happened, and it's just unfortunate. Honestly, it's really unfortunate that somebody who is the state governor of such a vibrant, educated, fantastic group of people would come and stoop so low to tell such brazen lies that people died as a result. Trust and believe that if such a thing happened, we would all know, we would all have heard about it. We wouldn't just be hearing about it days later, almost a week after Mr. Peter Obi left, that there was violence, that there was, those are just allegations, and it's not true. I don't believe that it is true. Nobody has been able to bring out any proof. And with the way information is disseminated, with the advent of social media and young people, trust and believe that if such a thing really did happen and not from a figment of imagination of the Edo State governor, by now we would have had that information. So there's no truth to it.
There's more to explore as far as visits by your principal to states is concerned. We'll touch on Kaduna as well. But I'm hoping now that Mr. Okpebholo is ready for us to provide clarity and indeed articulate the position of the Edo State government to this. Mr. Okpebholo, I'm sure you have quite a lot to respond to, and then also tell us if there's evidence to prove that the violence spoken to by the governor in that viral video has anything or any links with Mr. Peter Obi's visit.
Thank you very much. When Madam Nana was talking, there was power outage. Although I gathered certain things she said. The first one, that it was an outright threat by Governor of Edo State that Peter Obi should take permission, a sort of clearance, and that Peter Obi has a constitutional right, fundamental right, the right to move anywhere. But my question is, of these two rights, rights of movement and right to life, which one is more important? What the governor did was not threat, but a sort of security adversary. He only, like any other responsible leader, told Peter Obi that when next you are coming, please inform the government. There is no way Peter Obi could have come to Edo State with movement of troops. If anything happens otherwise, and Peter Obi is the victim, it is the governor that will be blamed. Because we all know there is resurgence of violence, kidnapping, killings in Edo State. Even though the governor inherited it, he has started destroying the fertile ground upon which they have been operating. When Peter Obi visited Edo State on the 7th of July to do what he did, no one is against it. But it was even a day that the police command of Edo State warned that there shouldn't be any gathering. It was a day the police command, the state security officer warned that people should not gather. And the reason is because 7th of July is always the Founders' Day celebration of the Neo Black movement. So because of that, they banned gathering. So in the first place, even Peter Obi violated that order. It is because it is Peter Obi. If someone else of lesser status would have done that, he would have been arrested. So what the governor is saying is that when you are coming, because the governor also does that, he visited Kano. He told Kano governor that he would be coming to Kano. He went to Kano with just 2 people. So it was the Kano governor that provided security, everything. That is the protocol, it's the standard practice. And Peter Obi knows this. He exhibited this while he was governor with brutal efficiency. Of course, you saw when he did, El-Rufai himself confessed how he was detained and arrested 48 hours by Peter Obi in 2013. So the whole idea, they are bringing politics into it. The obedience group, I appreciate it. It's a socio-political pressure group. They will support them. But that idea of say the governor went so low and used certain derogatory, demeaning language on the governor is very unfortunate. The governor is focused. All this we are doing is behind distraction. I ought to be busy now for tomorrow's event. Another achievement by Okpebholo as a governor of Edo State. We are commissioning the new Edo line with over 120 new hired buses. Edo line that was abandoned by previous government. All these are, triumph of imagination. But I'm here now saying what ought not to be. Because Peter Obi knows as a governor, as a former governor, when President Olusegun Obasanjo visited Edo State, after he left office, during the reign of Comrade Adams Oshomole, he came to Edo State on a private visit. But he first went to meet Governor Oshomole to pay a courtesy. And he said, I am in the state for a private visit, but it is necessary for me to report that I'm in town. Well, that's how it goes.
Commissioner,
when the governor was going to Akwa Ibom, he did the same thing. That is Okpebholo now. He informed the governor of Akwa Ibom. When he was going to Delta and even Imo, other hopefuls of Dima, he did the same thing. So I don't think we are creating tension where there is no tension. Even Jesus Christ, who said, I will come like a thief in the night, he has given notice. Followers of Christ and Christians are now waiting, prepared for him, that Christ will come at any time. So you can't go into any house without knocking. And you wait for the person to ask, who is that? Who is the person? Then you tell the person, I am so. He said, come in. That is the way it's done in civilized clans.
Well, speaking of coming, let me come in here quickly, Commissioner, and just speak to the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, who is asking that Governor Monday Okpebholo apologize to Mr. Peter Obi and withdraw the threat. In fact, he quotes Section 33 of the Constitution of Nigeria as amended, Article 4 of the African Charter on Human Rights. He says that the governor's statement violates those provisions. Will the governor be apologizing, withdrawing what has been described as a threat?
The governor, for me, the governor has not done anything amiss. What has he said amiss? I even read on a platform, one PDP platform, saying that Governor Okpebholo should not be blamed, that the commissioner and the chief press secretary should come out to do damage control. And my question is, what damage that will need to be controlled now? Because for me, the governor just said the thing, and that is the standard practice. You don't just get into a state and then you gather people for political issues. You can do anything you want, but the governor will be aware in terms of crowd control, your security, the awareness of everybody, including Peter Obi. So if they are so pained about this, let's test it in the court of law. Let's test it. The court is here to adjudicate.
All right, Commissioner, let me go to Ms. Nana Kazore and just get the process of Mr. Obi's visit. What is the protocol like, and what has been the experience in other states? Has he had to inform the governor or, I don't know, security agencies? What is the protocol, the SOP for Mr. Peter Obi's visit? Yes, he's a prominent man. We can't take that away. Former governor, presidential candidate, came third in that election. He's a big figure, not just to the obedience in Nigeria at large. So what is the standard operating procedure for his visit? Does he really have to inform, governor, security, and all before he visits a state? And we'll come to the Kaduna bit, which has to do with the rally, but speak to the SOP, please.
I'm not aware that he's entitled to have to call anybody to tell them he's visiting a state, as it's within his constitutional right to have right to freedom. I do know that on certain occasions, he always reaches out to the people, because he is a man of means. He's a former governor. I do know, I have been there, where he has made phone calls. But in this particular case, that was his second visit to that particular institute, the school. It's a nursing school. That was his second time going there. He had given an initial 20 million, and he had promised to come back to be able to assist them with infrastructure and, tools that they would use for learning tools to be able to equip the school better. I'm not in protocol, and I don't make what's not my business. My own is he's a Nigerian. He's entitled to move freely as long as he's causing no harm to anybody. As I don't know if you know of John Donne. There was something he said. He said, the death of any man diminishes me because I'm involved in mankind. Nana Kazore is going to paraphrase today and say, the threat to life of any man diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. People should not, under any circumstance, be threatened or asked not to come to your, it's so crass. It just reeks, it's such poor taste. It is so disrespectful. And, the commissioner, I can see that he's quite a reasonable fellow. It's a difficult, I'm sure, in his heart of hearts, he knows that it's an uphill battle. And I do support the senior advocate of Nigeria. I was on another program on Saturday, and I did say that, this is actionable. The law should take its course. And so I think it's safe to say that obedience will come out again. This time, Nigerians in our entirety are going to come out, and we will say, all eyes on the judiciary, if at all we choose, and our principal choose to take the matter to court. Right. Because it's enough. The threat to life, it's such silly politics. You can't use people's lives and people's goodwill to try to score brownie points. This is just wrong. And it smirks of irresponsibility from the governor. It is the governor's, nobody's putting this, casting aspirations on anybody else but Mr. Okpebholo himself. That's all I have to say. I really don't want to talk about this because it is unfair for Nigerians to feel Nigerians go through so much. I'm one of the people who always says we're such a resilient people. Yes, we are gradualists, as we're called in political science. But it doesn't mean that we're stupid or we're foolish or that we should be treated as if we are second-rate citizens because some people found themselves in places of authority.
Two quick issues. If you can hear me, two quick issues. One, will Mr. Peter Obi be visiting Edo State? Does he plan to visit, and would he maybe be making calls? But has this hampered him in any way? Has it downed his possible future plans to visit Edo State? That's on the one hand. Secondly, I want you to speak to this issue around the planned rally, because it was his birthday over the weekend, right? And people were doing lots of things. I saw people giving free haircut and all of that about his birthday. But in Kaduna State, the police put out a statement saying, well, with the planned primary elections by political parties to hold on the same day that Obi supporters planned their rally, the police command notes that the rally will overlap and disrupt several areas designated for the conduct of the party primaries, thereby posing a significant risk. And that's why the police said, well, this shouldn't hold. So how is Mr. Peter Obi also receiving that one in that sense? It's not him, it's the obedient movement in that sense, but does he see that as directed at him in any sense, or he's not taking issues with that one? So two questions.
Mr. Peter Obi is somebody that has shown himself to be a cut above the rest. He's a man who, and those of us who follow him, we are people who obey law and order. You can see that even when it was cancelled, there was no, people like to portray the obedience as troublesome, as violent, and every day we've thrown even the kitchen sink at us. But you can see that he was celebrated all over the nation, and there was no crisis. It was peaceful. People, obedience, came out using their own personal resources to do, there were free haircuts, they were buying fuel for commuters, they were paying transporters for the commuters, they were buying fuel for commercial buses, commercial tricycles, from north, south, east, west. It was fantastic to watch. As a person, I was just generally so proud of the obedience. And as you know, there was no violence anywhere in sight. It's the prerogative of the police to say, okay, and they gave reasons. They explained to us why, that there were elections that were going to happen on the same day. So for caution, and that's the way it should have been done. So I think the Kaduna State Police have taught Edo State governor how best to approach a situation. They did that very professionally. And the obedient movement did what they do best. They found a way around it, and they still went on with the celebration. They went to orphanages, they went to the prisons, they went to correctional centers, they went to the IDP camps, and they gave people food. It was a carryover. So it's the infectiousness of Peter Obi's charity. And I come from a faith where we believe very strongly in giving charity, and it's fantastic to see that the obedience have been infected with goodness and sharing love and caring, being their brother's keeper. So Saturday wasn't about tribe, religion, or creed, or it was about Nigeria. It didn't matter whether you were obedient or not. Obedience went and celebrated their principle, and we called it an obedient day of service. So I think obedience did well. Kudos to the obedient movement. Thank you for always raising the bar to the obedient movement. Thank you to the obedient movement for
we have to take a break
always
now.
changing the narrative. My mother always said something. She said, when people treat you a certain way, always come in the opposite direction.
Right.
When somebody treats you bad, instead pay them back with love and respect and just wish them well. And I think that's what the obedient movement came out and did
for the first
successfully,
bit of the question,
peacefully on Saturday.
Yeah, if you can hear me, we're due for a break now. But the first bit of the question, would Mr. Peter Obi still be going to Edo State in spite of all of this?
Don't put me on the spot like that, Kayode. I cannot answer that question. It was his birthday on Saturday. All I did was wish him a happy birthday. We haven't delved into the real matter of whether or not, but I see no reason why he should be stopped from visiting any state within Nigeria. That is his constitutional right. So don't be mischievous, Kayode, please. Thank you very much.
Well, I take exception to that. That was a simple question put to you. There was no mischief meant.
It was very mischievous.
It wasn't. It was a simple question put out to you.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to railroad us into an already very dicey situation, and that's very unfair, Mr. Kayode.
Nana Kazore, we have to thank you for your time. I will not get deeper into that, but it was a question in good faith, and I wish you see it as that. And that's what it is, because we are speaking to these issues. But we have to thank you for your time. We're due for a break now. I understand you have other engagements. But thank you, wish you the very best. But when we return, there's more we have with the Commissioner for Information in Edo State. So please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. Still speaking to, well, the back and forth between Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State and, of course, the obedient movement regarding the comments made about Mr. Peter Obi's visit, that he should get security clearance and all of that. And the Commissioner for Information, Honorable Paul Ohambamu, is still with us on the program. Earlier on, we had a spokesperson for the obedient movement, Nana Kazore. But Mr. Commissioner, quite a number of points raised by Nana Kazore. First, she spoke about how the Kaduna police handled this, saying that that should be the standard way to handle issues like this and not the way the governor handled it. I did ask her if Mr. Peter Obi will be visiting in spite of this, but she didn't quite speak to it. But she said particularly that, well, she sees no reason why he shouldn't visit since he's a citizen. So just to be clear, are you saying as of today, if Mr. Peter Obi wants to visit Edo State, he should not come without going through the process that was spoken to by the governor?
Thank you very much. First of all, Peter Obi should be a gentleman amongst gentlemen. He's not the only one traveling to other states. If others can follow the procedure and observe protocols, what is wrong for Peter Obi to do so? He also exhibited this same character in Benue. That's why I sent earlier, the governor of Benue State stopped him, blocked him from going to the IDP. So let me even respond to what Madam Nana said. She quoted John Donne. Very good. The death of one man diminishes the world. That is correct. John Donne made that statement following the death of T.S. Eliot. So he was mourning T.S. Eliot. But the beginning of that write-up, of that work, John Donne said, all men will die, that we are all equal before the law, and that it is better for us to sleep with our hands clean, either kept clean or through the day by integrity, or washed clean at night through repentance. We all belong to the same author. We are from the same author. And that once a person dies, that particular chapter is not taken off. It is translated into a bigger language. And when the bell rings to a sermon, it calls not only the congregation, but the clergy as well. What I'm saying here is that there must not be double morality, no two moralities. What applies to one must apply to the other, mutatis mutandis. As for Kaduna episode, you should know that the objective conditions are different. This is the 7th month of the governor of Governor Okpebholo's governance in government, and he inherited a lot of maladies, including kidnapping, including serious, killings, court activities, and he has given credence to 2 legislations from the House of Assembly, the law against kidnapping and the one against courtism, with stiffer penalties. So the fertile ground they were operating, he started contaminating them. So this resurgence of killings and violence is a sort of, a terror coming back, playing back, wanting to avenge what has done to them. So you cannot compare the two. What is happening in Kaduna is different from what is happening in Benin, in Edo. So we must put things in proper perspective. The governor has said, let me know when you are coming to Benin. That is the normal standard. If you cannot respect the governor, you feel you are too big, and no one did it to you. As I said, he detained El-Rufai for 48 hours. That was arrogance of power. That was trivialization of someone's rights. And above all, the pathological fixation on the capture and use of raw power. He exhibited that. So Okpebholo cannot do that because it's not given to such character. It's easygoing. So this one countered the statement by Nana that Peter Obi is law-abiding. Law-abiding and you will detain someone. When the law even says 24 hours for police or take the person to court, you even exceeded that because of politics. And you say such a person is law-abiding. He's not, by my own estimation. He's not law-abiding. I think he's just, creating euphoria that does not exist. We saw it in the election.
All right. Honorable Okpebholo, we understand the politics, that is coloring this particular, scenario and the subsequent back and forth between the Edo State government and the obedient movement. But some would say that in spite of the politics, that this is a bit too much of a coincidence when you consider that it has happened in Benue, it has happened in Kaduna, and it's happening now in Edo State. And we know the performance of Edo State in the last presidential election. And of course, Nana Kazaure spoke to it when she said earlier on that perhaps she understands that the government is riled up by Peter Obi and his emerging popularity, particularly ahead of the 2023 presidential election. So is that what is playing out with the ruling party? Is the ruling party threatened by the Peter Obi figure and his influence ahead of the 2027 presidential election this time?
Thank you very much. Peter Obi is the least of our worries. APC can be threatened because of Peter Obi. What is he going to do differently? Ask Peter Obi what he will even do when he becomes president. He will tell you, let me get there first. No clear-cut blueprint of what he wants to do. Just like that character, Bazaros, in the book Father and Son, written by the great Russian author, Ivan Turgenev, who said all he wants to do is to destroy all the institutions and pull down the system. And when he was asked, with what will you replace the system, he simply said, let it come down first. That shows somebody who is not even prepared. And that is the character we have in Peter Obi. How did he fare? Even in the southeast, where he's from, they only have one governor. That is Abia. APC has two in its dominance there, both Imo and Ebonyi. Enugu is for PDP, and of course, Anambra, Agda. So where is his dominance? So Peter Obi is the least of our worries. He's just struggling in error. And I can assure you, his defeat is in fixed deposit.
But Honorable Okpebholo, you haven't quite linked, I wonder if I have missed it, you haven't linked evidence that indeed proves that his visit had anything to do with the violence that erupted in Edo State. And besides that, if it was just security concerns, why was the governor also speaking to the donation that he made? Doesn't he have the right as an individual to make a donation to people?
He has the right. The truth of the matter is, somebody, the governor made the statement. He said, someone said, I don't give shishi. So it was a clear cause of two moralities, someone presenting such a contrast between mind and body. You say you cannot give shishi. Nothing is wrong in you donating money, giving money, but you are giving the impression that your generosity and all you can give can exist in active and actual austerity, that you don't give the way others do it. So what the governor is just saying, that this is outright hypocrisy. hypocrisy, and that it is embedded in fraud, deceit. Deceit. And deceit is fraud. Fraud is corruption. If you say you give money, not I don't give shishi. Even Nana said the first installment was 20 million, the second one, but it's different from what we know. I even believe that Peter Obi cannot give. There is all other politicians. The meaning now is that Peter Obi also subscribes to Thorsten Veblen's theory of the leisure class, because this is clear exhibition of conspicuous consumption. So I see different from others. That is just what the governor is talking about. And that is even aside. The real gravamen of our contention is that Peter Obi should behave the way other civilized people behave and follow the standard laid down, respect the protocol, because Edo State is not lawless. It's under a governor, and the governor is doing well, and the people know. Somebody who for 7 months has constructed 278 kilometer stretch of roads. Somebody who is building the first flyover. He has touched education, he has touched infrastructure, all facets. So the Edo people, they are happy with him. For once, they now know that government can be for governance and not for looting. He has exhibited that. So when he's talking, he knows what he's saying. He's fighting courtesan. He's fighting criminality, kidnapping. So,
pardon me quickly. So you've not spoken to the link,
Peter Obi
Lincoln, Mr. Peter.
Himself.
Right. You've not spoken to
that link. Excuse me. The governor made that statement.
So how can we link it?
Level, I'm coming, sir.
Yes.
If you know the level of intelligence reports in the governor's hands, I was surprised when Nana was saying they did not hear. Is it only the governor that heard? They did not do this. Why should they say that? It's unfortunate because the governor has a way of getting his facts.
So is that something you would like to share with Nigerians? I mean, let's place all the facts on the table. So this is not seen as a political witch hunt.
Said this,
if there's evidence, let's put it out there.
Yes, he said the stampede that followed Peter Obi's visit resulted in casualties and 3 deaths occurred. And we cannot just sit and say the governor does not know what he's doing.
So you're saying Mr. Peter Obi's visit to the
So what the governor is even saying now is that when you are coming next to avoid all this, for the wellness of everyone, including Peter Obi and everybody, inform us so that we put necessary security in terms of crowd control. Even when you leave, there will not be stampede. These are the issues now.
Just to be clear, Honorable Commissioner, rather, are you saying the visit to the School of Nursing by Mr. Peter Obi caused a stampede that led to the death of, is it 3 people now?
Yes. Intelligence report brought it out. 2 died in the hospital. They rushed them, actually. Let me tell you, many of these things, we don't alarm the public with some of these things. And you know that anywhere Obi enters, there's this euphoria. People who don't know him deeply, who just see him and they see, this is Obi, the Messiah they want. And they rush after him. And that euphoria, ecstasy, can cause stampede.
Just to be...
But it did not reflect in vote.
Is it the same visit that we're seeing on the screen that you're referring to? And is the school authority also aware of this fatality that you speak to, or is only the government that is aware?
Obi, apart from going to that school, went to other places. He cannot just go to that school and go like that. When Obi comes to a place, there is another place he can go to. There are other places. People are waiting for him. But people along the road and all.
Okay, this stampede you speak to, was it at this visit or another visit? Just to be clear again.
No, this July 7th. That's why he has been visiting now, and the governor has not taken it serious. It's because of this incident. And he does not want casualties in the state. He's a man of peace, and he's giving to civility.
At the risk of seeming to overflog the issue, are you saying that it was as a result of the visit to the School of Nursing or to other places? Where exactly did this stampede?
His visit This was not only school of nursing. They are just hiding fast from you people.
And so where exactly did this stampede happen? Where exactly did it happen in Edo State?
You said?
Where exactly did this stampede happen in Edo State?
In Benin, they took some of them to the hospital. And they are in Benin. They couldn't have taken anybody from Okpebholo to Benin now.
Honorable Hambamo, you're not answering the question directly. Where exactly, which location in Benin did the stampede happen?
I did not follow Peter Obito in the itinerary to where he followed. But I know that that was what happened. I was even supposed to address the press on it. They say, don't panic the public.
So you know?
Well, Commissioner...
Peter Obi knows all this.
Well,
Peter Obi knows all this.
These
some
details,
we are taking...
Okay, go on.
You said? Some we are taking. It saw some being taken away. When you stampede, people will step on human beings.
But a stampede is a big incident that cannot be ignored, that could have been reported, that would have caught the attention of the press. So if indeed it is related to any of the visits of Mr. Peter Obi to Edo State, it should have come through, and it shouldn't be anything that would be a matter of debate or controversy. So can you tell us where exactly it happened in Benin City or in other parts of Edo State?
I know that he visited St. Philomena, where I gave them money, and other places I didn't follow him. But after the whole thing, that what happened. Of course, you know that when things happen like this, it's just like when there is crisis. Anybody can take advantage to injure his former enemy. But why should there be crisis? Why should there be stampede? Why should there be that kind of ecstasy, rush, and all? If police, security operatives were on ground to control those things, nothing like that would have happened.
Okay. Honorable Commissioner, we appreciate the information you're giving us, but just so that there can be irrefutable proof and evidence, are you able to provide evidence as to these fatalities that you speak to? I mean, it shouldn't be hard to prove. Are you able to get back to us today with evidence to show Nigerians that indeed what you say is true?
I have Kayode's number, yes, if that's what you want. But I am telling you, the governor is really serious about the security in Edo, sanity in Edo, and this is why he gave that security advisory that respect the protocol. People are becoming, I know how many times I have gone to the airport to receive people. We know how many times the security will block everywhere to ensure that visitors are taken care of. It's not a question of party now. After all, the governor went to Kanu. Kanu is NNPP. The governor went to Okpebholo when he was under PDP. The governor went to Delta under PDP. The only place the governor has gone to with the same practice of informing the governor that his APC was Imo under Kopuzodima. No big deal about this thing. It's the normal standard.
Okay, so we'll expect evidence to be sent to us so we can also show Nigerians if indeed what you speak to is true, because it's important to ensure that the truth is put out there.
You celebrated in the course of telling the world Obi's birthday. It was full celebration.
How do you mean you people, Commissioner?
With Nana. Okay, I'm sorry. My brother, you know, I'm talking to you.
Oh, yes.
Be, you know.
You said we celebrated it.
When you were talking to Nana.
Yes, please go ahead.
And about the birthday of the celebration, all the things. Yes, I said it was more or less like celebration.
Okay, just to put it in context.
That's what I'm saying, sir.
We asked her a question and she spoke about it and also celebrated him. So when you say we,
okay, let me now tell you.
My colleague did. But I want you to, maybe you can speak to that, but also a very important point. Pardon me, just a second.
With that.
Honorable Commissioner, just a second. Just a second, you get to speak. But I want to add this to it. When you said that Mr. Peter Obi is the least of your concerns, well, that may be true, really, because dengue fever is also a big deal in Edo State. We spoke to the NCDC DG, who had told us that over 10 people have died as a result of dengue fever in Edo State. So maybe that's one of your biggest concerns. So do you want to also speak to that in addition to the political bit? Because that's also important.
No, let me tell you. that time, the objective condition then has been altered. As we speak, there's no Labour Party in Benin, in Edo State. All their representatives, the senator, the House of Reps, they have all entered the APC. So just like PDP, that has no representative at the National Assembly, I can tell you that both Labour Party and PDP are allowed a matchbox without matchstick. So nothing. When I say it's the least of our worries, it's not the one that can truncate the straight, process of President Tinubu becoming president, going back second term. No, he cannot. He cannot. And you will see it. I will also come to your studio. We will celebrate. That will be the final epitaph on Labour and PDP.
All right, we'll see about that, Honorable Commissioner, but you haven't spoken to the concern about dengue fever in Edo State, which my colleague spoke about earlier on. There are reports that about 10 people have died of dengue fever. Perhaps you also want to talk to us about the state of preparedness of primary healthcare centers in Edo State to respond to this emerging epidemic, according to the NCDC.
Yes. In fact, with the outbreak, when that disease broke out, the Commissioner for Health, that is Cyril Oshomole. When I say Cyril Oshomole now, I'm talking of Oshomole in his own right. Don't attach to her. Now, he was given the mandate, asked what to do. He went to UBTH, which is the federal, and gave aid, all the things they needed, procured by Governor Okpebholo, gave to UBTH. All our primary health care centers, they have equipped them. So personally, the commissioner sent someone to take my sample, blood sample, to test me on dengue fever. And thank God it was negative. I think it's negative. That is a plus for the Executive Council. So Governor Okpebholo has done all to ensure, including Lassa. Apart from dengue fever, there's another devastating disease, fever, which is Lassa fever. They have put everything, the primary health care, they have been settled, all the equipment they need, they are all there. I can't be naming them now, I'm not a medical personnel. So, and you can see that there is a halt to the series of deaths.
All right. Of course, we'll verify all of that, talking also to laboratory testing kits, antigens, yes. Subsequently, yes. To confirm indeed what you have said. But you said earlier on that you were talking about the Commissioner for Health as Oshomole is in his own right. It's important to also put it in proper perspective that Cyril Oshomole is Senator Adams Oshomole's son, is also important information. But Kari also has a few words.
But yes, I know why I said in his own right. We have seen philosophers and teachers like Socrates who have wayward children and students. So when I say in his own right, he has built his own career and he's doing well.
All right.
That's what I mean.
Fantastic.
So let me talk now. Let me also celebrate the governor in terms of achievement. Fantastic. Since you also gave time to Nana.
Well, in fact, we'll give you a minute, Honorable Commissioner. We'll give you a minute, but let's also celebrate you for that negative result that you got.
Thank you.
There's enough celebrations to go around. But you have a minute to speak to whatever you want to speak to.
Thank you very much. Governor Monday Okpebholo has touched all facets in Edo State. In the first place, the main university, the only university we have, that is San Bruce Ali University. Before he came, the monthly allocation subvention to that school was 41 million every month by Godwin Obaseki. But somebody who is serious about education, when he came, the first thing he did was to increase it to 500 million. And that very month of November, it started giving out. In that same school, about 128 doctors were not inducted because of some lacunas. Within 100 days, he did the necessary things, and they have all been inducted. All the people that were driven using seats, which Obaseki put in place, that is a special intervention team, which he used to perpetuate his dominance over others. All the professors and other laborers in the school were all returned, and they have all been given pay their arrears. So in infrastructure, roads, I tell you, 278-kilometer stretch has been done. Going on to near completion, some midway. Even in the rains, they are still working. The first ever flyover, and you know that to construct a bridge or a flyover is to reinvent commerce. He has done that. He has employed over 5,000 personnel, worker. It was supposed to say 2,500 for teaching, Aide, and so many others. Now, in security, he bought over 150 brand new Toyota Hilux vans to security operatives. Over 1,000 motorbikes, power bikes, for people to pursue kidnappers into the bushes. He did that. And he also put into place legal machinery, that is legal framework, institutional framework for all this to work. So he has made,
I think we've given more than enough time.
They passed new law against cultism.
So what we'll do is maybe we'll get to visit Edo State to speak to some of these things as well. Hopefully have a conversation with His Excellency. But we have to anchor at this point. That is more than enough celebration that you have done, both for yourself and for the governor, Monday Okpebholo. But Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications, Edo State, Mr. Paul Ohonbamu, we have to thank you so much for your time and wish Senator Monday Okpebholo the very best. It's a Monday morning, so thank you and all the best.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a moment now. We have our correspondent, Cecilia Morgbe, joining us from Morocco to speak about WAFCON. In just a moment. I mean, the Super Falcons did some great work, and they're about to do more. So stay with us. We'll be right back.